The Young and the Restless spoilers. Tuesday, full update, the 18th of August, 2026. Welcome back to our channel, fellow Genoa City addicts. Today is a beautiful, albeit incredibly stressful day to be a soap fan, and we have an absolute mountain of drama to unpack from the latest episode. Grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive right into the absolute chaos that is currently unfolding on our screens. I cannot believe they actually went there. I mean, I am sitting here typing this late at night. My mind is completely racing, and I just need to get all of these feelings out of my system before I explode. Are we seriously watching Billy Abbott nuke his entire life again? Because that is exactly what is happening, and I am both entirely here for the drama and completely exhausted by his constant need to self-sabotage. We all know Billy. We have been watching this man make the worst possible decisions for years. Remember when he was gambling away his life? Remember the chewing gum empire phase? Remember when he drove Victoria crazy for the 100th time? Yeah. Didn't work then either. But this Chancellor Industries takeover plot, this is a whole new level of unhinged, even for William Abbott. So let us start with that explosive, edge-of-your-seat scene at Society. Lily Winters, looking like an absolute queen, finally tells Billy that he is fired. She tells him to hand over the files he stole and just get out of her sight. And honestly, good for her. Lily has been putting up with so much corporate nonsense lately, especially with Devin leaving to start a nonprofit and Nate bouncing back to medicine. She needed to assert her dominance. But Billy does not just walk away. He stands there with that incredibly smug, self-righteous smirk on his face, the one that makes you just want to throw your remote at the television. He looks Lily dead in the eye and tells her she does not own Chancellor. He tells her she never owned it. I literally gasped out loud. Even though we knew he was digging into Jill's files, hearing him say it out loud in the middle of Society was wild. Billy drops the absolute mother of all bombshells. The Abbott family technically owns Chancellor Industries. And why? Because of an old unpaid financial bailout from the legendary John Abbott. I mean, wait, I am getting ahead of myself. Let's just process that for a second. John Abbott loaned Chancellor a massive amount of money years ago. The contract was never terminated. The loan was never repaid, and Jill just buried it. Jill buried it. Of course she did. Jill Abbott is the queen of burying secrets when money is involved. And Billy just stands there, gloating. He tells Lily and Kane that his lawyers are already all over it, and that by the end of the day, the Abbotts are going to seize full control of the company. Can we talk about the sheer audacity of this man? He is currently engaged to Sally Spectra, who is pregnant and dealing with her own massive trauma and Victor Newman's wrath over the Newman media sale. And instead of focusing on his growing family, Billy is obsessed with destroying Kane Ashby. Because, let's be real, this isn't just about John Abbott's legacy. This is about Billy's deep, pathetic jealousy of Kane. He hates that Kane is happy with Lily. He hates that Kane got a piece of the Chancellor pie. Kane, of course, reacts exactly how you would expect. He calls Billy delusional. He tells him he's out of his mind. But you can see the panic setting in behind Kane's eyes. Kane is a former grifter, okay? He knows when a con is real and when someone has actual leverage. When Billy explains that Jill kept it a secret purely for the money, specifically Victor Newman's money, it all clicks into place. Jill sold Chancellor to Victor to hide the fact that the Abbotts actually owned it. That is classic Jill. She would rather sell her soul to the devil in a mustache than admit she owed the Abbott family a dime. The history between Jill and Catherine Chancellor is so rich, and to see Jill's greed come back to haunt the company like this is poetic justice, even if I hate Billy's methods. But the absolute best part of this entire scene at society is Lily's reaction. Lily does not cower. She does not cry. She looks at Billy with pure, unadulterated ice in her veins. She tells him that all she sees is his smug face spewing what he thinks is the truth. And then she delivers the line of the night. If you continue with this, you will lose everything that is important to you. I guarantee you that. Chills, literal chills. Lily Winters is not a victim anymore. She has survived cancer. She has survived prison. She has survived Kane's endless lies, and she has built Chancellor Winters into an empire. If Billy thinks he can just waltz in and take it because of some ancient paperwork, he has another thing coming. And right in the middle of this intense, blood-boiling standoff, who walks in? Holden Novak. Holden, who just found out Malcolm Winters is his biological father. Kane immediately goes to meet him at the bar, which is such a fascinating dynamic. Kane saved Malcolm's life by donating bone marrow, and now he's interacting with Malcolm's secret son. The Winters family tree is so complicated right now, and adding this corporate bloodbath on top of it is just brilliant soap opera writing. I know some people are loving Billy's ruthless era, but personally, I think he is digging his own grave. Okay, back to the point. Let's shift gears to the Abbott family meeting at Jabot, because this was equally fascinating and frustrating. Jack, Ashley, and Traci are all gathered in Jack's office, and Jack is pacing around like a nervous wreck. He drops the news on his sisters. Our family might be richer than we thought. Ashley is completely stunned. Are you saying we own Catherine's company? She asks, and Jack confirms it. He says Billy told him, and that Kyle is already meeting with the lawyers. Kyle, who is currently making out with Victoria Newman and making dangerous deals with Patty Williams in jail. The Abbotts are a complete mess right now, and they are about to start World War III with the Winters family. Traci, bless her sweetheart, is the only one making any sense. Traci asks Jack if he actually wants to pursue this. Jack says no, but Billy thinks otherwise. Traci immediately points out that Lily and Kane are her dear friends, and she absolutely does not want to do this to them. I love Traci. She is the moral compass of Genoa City. She always sees the human cost of these corporate wars. But then Ashley chimes in, and I was actually shocked by her take. Ashley, who has been pushed to the edge of sanity lately with the whole Patty and Markham kidnapping Abby and Dominic situation, actually says that this might be a surprise gift from their father to Billy. A gift. Ashley, are you kidding me? Since when does Ashley support Billy's reckless behavior? But she argues that maybe Billy needs to run Chancellor to feel whole. She points out how much damage Jill did by ousting Billy and selling the company to Victor. And honestly, she makes a fair point. Jill completely emasculated Billy in the corporate world. But Jack asks Ashley if she is taking Billy's side. Ashley says she doesn't approve of the method, but she thinks they should step back and let Billy handle it. And Traci actually agrees. Traci agrees to step back. I was screaming at my TV, you guys cannot just let Billy run around with a loaded corporate gun. He is going to shoot himself in the foot. Jack, surprisingly, is the one who wants to put the brakes on. He says he will not let Billy destroy their father's reputation and that he is going to stop him before he goes too far. Jack is terrified of the fallout, and he should be. Jack is dealing with Diane being traumatized, Patty blackmailing him for sex, and the looming threat of Victor Newman. The last thing Jack needs is a massive lawsuit over Chancellor. But Ashley and Traci warn Jack to back off for his own safety. They know Jack is fragile right now, He was literally stabbed not too long ago, and Jack finally caves. He agrees to let it go. But wait, the drama at Jabo doesn't end there, because right after Jack agrees to back off, his phone rings, and it's Kane Ashby. Kane says he needs to see Jack urgently. Minutes later, Kane comes bursting into Jabo. He is thrilled to see Traci there, calling her the voice of reason, and then Kane pleads with Jack, Traci, and Ashley to do whatever it takes to stop their brother. Kane looks absolutely terrified. He tells him, because if Billy continues with this, we will all regret it. Kane is not playing around. He knows that if this goes to court, the collateral damage will be catastrophic. And Kane just got his life back on track. He just got back into Chancellor. He's back in Lily's good graces. And now Billy is threatening to burn the whole house down. I genuinely feel bad for Kane here, which is rare because Kane has lied so many times in the past. But in this scenario, Billy is the clear aggressor. Billy is acting out of pure spite. Kane is just trying to protect the woman he loves and the legacy she built. Now, while all this toxic corporate warfare is happening, we have to talk about the most wholesome, refreshing scene of the episode. Nate and Stephanie. I am so happy about this storyline, I could literally cry. Nate Hastings is finally officially returning to medicine after Devon shocked everyone by leaving the Winters Company to start a nonprofit. Nate realized that life is too short to sit in a boardroom looking at spreadsheets and stabbing his cousins in the back. Nate is a doctor. He is a brilliant surgeon. It is in his blood. His mother, Olivia Winters, was a legendary doctor in Genoa City. This is exactly where Nate belongs. Stephanie wants to celebrate his big decision by taking him out to society, but Nate is like, how about we celebrate here where you can cook for me? It was such a sweet, intimate moment. Nate goes into the kitchen, and Stephanie immediately gets on her phone. She calls the surgeon and leaves a message about Nate. Then she calls back and tells Nate that the surgeon is flying to Chicago to meet with him. This is huge. Nate's hand injury has kept him out of the operating room for years, but with new procedures and treatments, he might actually be able to hold a scalpel again. I love this for Nate. He has been lost in the corporate sauce for way too long. He became ruthless. He betrayed his family. He aligned with Victoria. It was a dark era for Nate Hastings, but seeing him inspired by Devon's exit, seeing him supported by Lily, and now seeing Stephanie actively helping him get his surgical career back, it just warms my heart. It is the perfect contrast to the greedy corporate war that Billy is starting over Chancellor. While Billy is trying to tear down a legacy, Nate is trying to rebuild his own. It just goes to show that some characters can actually learn from their mistakes and grow. Billy Abbott should take notes. But let's circle back to Billy and Lily, because I cannot stop thinking about Lily's threat. You will lose everything that is important to you. What does Billy actually have to lose right now? He has Sally. Sally is pregnant with his child, but Sally is currently dealing with her own massive crisis. She had to sell Newman Media to Adam to avoid Victor's wrath, and then Billy went and blabbed the secret to Victor. Billy betrayed Sally's trust. Sally is already leaning on Audra for support, and we know Audra is not exactly the biggest fan of healthy relationships. If Billy becomes completely obsessed with this Chancellor takeover, he is going to neglect Sally, and Sally has already lost one baby. The stress of this pregnancy, combined with Billy's chaotic corporate war and Victor Newman breathing down their necks, is a recipe for disaster. Billy is going to push Sally right back into Adam's arms, or worse, he's going to cause her so much stress that her health is compromised. Lily's threat wasn't just corporate posturing. It was a prophecy. Billy Abbott destroys everything he touches when he gets into these manic, obsessive phases. He did it with Victoria, he did it with Phyllis, and he is going to do it with Sally if he doesn't wake up. I am also terrified of what Victor Newman is going to do when he finds out about this. Jill sold Chancellor to Victor. If the Abbotts prove that Jill didn't actually have the right to sell it, Victor is going to lose his massive investment, and Victor Newman does not lose. Victor is already furious about the Newman Media situation. He is already plotting against Phyllis and Matt Clark. If Billy Abbott tries to take Chancellor away from the Newman empire, Victor will crush him. He will crush Jack. He will crush Kyle. The mustache will go to war, and we all know the Abbotts usually end up bleeding when that happens. Victor will not hesitate to use Patty Williams or Doctor Markham or any other psycho to get his way. Am I the only one who thinks Billy is completely underestimating the Winters family too? Lily is not the naive young girl she used to be. She has the backing of Devon, even if he is starting a nonprofit. She has Kane, who will fight dirty to protect her. And she has the legacy of Catherine Chancellor behind her. Catherine chose Lily's family to run that company. John Abbott might have loaned them money, but Catherine built that empire. A piece of paper from decades ago is not going to erase the sweat and tears Lily has poured into Chancellor Winters. Billy thinks he holds all the cards, but he is playing a very dangerous game against people who have nothing left to lose. I am just so invested in this. I have been watching this show since 2015, and this is exactly the kind of high-stakes, multifamily drama that makes The Young and the Restless the best soap on television. We have the Abbotts, the Newmans, the Winters, and the Chancellors all colliding in one massive storyline. The history is rich, the character motivations are deep, and the acting in this episode was top tier. Jason Thompson is playing Billy's smugness perfectly. Crystal Khalil is giving Lily so much power and grace, and Peter Bergman as Jack, constantly torn between protecting his family and stopping his brother, is just phenomenal. I don't know how this is going to end, but I am absolutely dreading the fallout. I want Billy to be happy. I really do. I want him to settle down with Sally, raise their baby, and find some peace away from the corporate backstabbing. But Billy is his own worst enemy. He is addicted to the chaos. He is addicted to the fight. And this fight for Chancellor might be the one that finally breaks him for good. Kane warned Jack, Traci, and Ashley. He told them they would all regret it. And I have a very sinking feeling that Kane is absolutely right. All right, I need to go to bed before I start yelling at my screen again. I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow. Will Jack actually listen to Kane and try to stop Billy again? Will Kyle find a legal loophole? Will Nate's meeting in Chicago go well? There are so many moving parts. Right now, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you Team Billy or Team Lily in this Chancellor War? Do you think Ashley was right to call it a gift? Sound off? And I'll see you in the next one.